Hi, everyone. Welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. This is the daily live pick show that we do every day at 10:30 Eastern Time, where I give my official plays in MLB. And sitting next to me right now, this is the new co-host, Tony. Tony, thanks for being with us.
What's up, guys?
Tony. All right. Tony is the lines guy at the SBR Sportsbook. Tell us about yourself, Tony, and why, most importantly, people want to know why they should listen to you.
Well, pretty much what we do, and we would try to do every day, just set up the lines for all the books and make sure that we have the accurate lines at the moment and show all the moves, show all the info that we can of the game. And that's what we do over here, and try to give you guys a heads up on what to bet and the steam and all that stuff that we try to help you guys make you win.
So you're going to give these guys a heads up on what to bet?
Yeah, well, what I have, I came ready for the show. I have some steam moves that have been going on all day. Well, just in the morning, there's some totals going up, and we can. I don't know what you want to do. If I want, I can give it right now, or
no, that's okay. All right. Well, let me get into the games. Overall, I've had a good record in baseball so far. I am coming off of a 1-2 day, but the low hanging fruit is the
trending topic of the week.
Yeah, and you know, I had in the middle of the show yesterday, I decided to throw on the Seattle second half, but the low hanging fruit, when I was asked what's the low hanging fruit today, I said Cincinnati second half, and that one did cash, and I also liked Cincinnati yesterday. And
did under cash on that full game?
What, Cincinnati? Oh yeah. And then I also gave Arizona -1, which wound up being a pick, and then I threw on a couple of crappy picks afterwards, which was probably a mistake, but that's all right. And let's see. All right, so on today's card, I'll tell you what the things that have caught my eye. First thing that caught my eye, and I talked about this with Drew Martin earlier, is just Washington is a juggernaut, right? And I'm thinking that with Rourke and Pivetta, gotten some nice strikeout numbers, given up a bunch of home runs, but overall, I'm kind of throwing out the starting pitching matchup in that one, and just leaning Washington. And I think Washington -1 on the on the run line, whatever, might be worth a shot. So I think I might give that one as an official play. And then what else was I catching my? Also, I was also leaning over in Oakland and Texas. Cashner, I'm sorry.
Actually, that total's been moving. That total up at a 9. So, all those guys are setting up the line, and I think that's a good play. That's a solid play.
Yes.
Betting the over in that game is.
Yeah. Now I took it at 9.
At 9, yeah.
Now it's up to 9.5. So I'm not sure if I want to do that. Yesterday, the same thing happened with me with the Detroit Angels game. I bet it on the overnight at 7, and then by the time the show happened, it was 7.5. It did wind up going over, but it was cutting it a little bit close, and I was very happy that my bet was at 7, and I was kind of slightly happy that I didn't give it at 7.5 in the show, because for a while it was looking like it was going to be close, and it was cutting it close. So that was another lean I'm having. Might give that one. And then let's see, what else do we have that I was looking at here on the what did I bet on the overnights? Sorry, let me just find it. I also took a shot with the over in Seattle, Toronto. I got it at 8.5. Obviously, Toronto's been a big undertrender at home at times. Offense has disappeared, but Bergman, we know what his deal is. He actually had some good results in the minors, but he is just, I think, serviceable at best. And Biagini, obviously a reliever who is getting his pitch count extended out to about 70 or 75 for this start. Probably will be okay, but it's a low total. We've seen Toronto start to pick it up a bit recently, and I'm also leaning towards the over 8.5 there at about -120 at the Greek, which is I was leaning correctly towards unders early on in the year, Tony, and in this one I'm leaning over. I don't know if you have anything to say about that one.
No, actually, the other game I was looking at today was the Colorado and Dodgers game.
Yes, with Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah.
Now, that one I was thinking about taking. Kershaw is a tricky situation, because obviously he's awesome. You know that, right? I mean, he's awesome. Legit awesome no matter where he goes. He did make one start at Coors this year, though. It wasn't a terrible start. He did give up 3 home runs in that start. So I don't want to take the Dodgers on the run line or anything like that. I am thinking, though, about taking the Dodgers team total a little high, which is 5 at about -140 or so. But Chatwood, and I talked about this in Drew Martin yesterday. Drew Martin said that he thought that Chatwood was a guy who got hit hard in Coors but did better on the road, and I said that I thought that was the opposite. Turns out
I think the Rockies do better on the road. Not necessarily
yeah, you know what, Pete? I like Colorado plus plus the money. I think I'm taking a shot on Colorado.
Yeah, so that's so. At any rate, it was Drew Martin was right, and I was wrong. Chatwood in his career in general has been a lot worse at Coors. Has been a lot worse at Coors than on the road. Although his last start was at home and was pretty good, still I think that he'll probably be vulnerable here. Kershaw, we don't know what we're going to get from him. He might go
It might be hot, yeah.
Yeah, might go 6 innings, give up 4 runs, and might throw a 9-inning shutout. Anything's possible.
I have a question. Are the Dodgers 500? Are they above the 500 line yet?
In terms of wins and losses?
Yes.
Oh,
money line 500.
I don't even know. I know that they have been overvalued. I know they've been overvalued slightly. Yes, I believe they're yeah.
If that's the case, both teams are over 500. Keep an eye on the consensus on the overall bet consensus on the over and under.
Yeah.
If the under is less than 35%, I am riding it. Yeah. Blind riding.
Right.
The under. It's a system that has been working for me over the last couple of weeks.
Wait, I'm sorry. Say it again.
Two teams that are both 500 or over. With a less than 35% of the bets going on the under, with juice at no more than minus 120, I can't remember the exact clip rate, but it's a phenomenal clip, and it's cashing over and over and over. And yeah, I gave you a couple plays the other day.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, so yeah, that might be. It would be interesting to see what that is historically, but that's certainly anytime you're finding an angle where you're fading the public for a specific reason, that is often profitable. Another bet that I was looking at on the overnight is the over in Detroit and the Angels. Again, I had that one yesterday, despite Fulmer starting, which is a ballsy play, but turned out to be correct. And with Zimmerman and Shoemaker, both these guys have been struggling. I was leaning over, and I would be, I guess, maybe a little bit stronger, leaning towards the first 5 innings over, which would be about 4.5 right now. So I'm thinking about giving that one. And once again, I gave Arizona last night -1, which pushed. That's why I give the -1 lines a lot, because if that had been a run line play, it would have lost. And with Glasnow and Corbin, Glasnow, of course, is a guy, Tony, I don't know how closely you follow some of these minor pitchers, but Glasnow is a guy, big potential, but has definitely not been putting it together and has been having some serious control issues. And I'm guessing will be once again as vulnerable as he's been in this game, as he's been all year long. Basically.
Well, Pete, to be honest with you, I don't follow much about pitchers. What I follow is just trends and steams. That's what I'm here for, and give you guys some steams that's going on. Just like Pete said, the steams I saw today was Colorado. People are taking Colorado. I like that pick. Also, Arizona over. When those guys bet it, when I mean those guys, you guys know that most of the big guys bet those games early so they can move the line.
Sure.
Are they playing in Arizona today?
They're playing.
Yeah, in Arizona.
Yeah. That play was the over 9.5. Of course, the line now is different.
If the roof is open, that's probably a really good play. I think they're something like right now 13-2 or 13-3 on the over when the roof is open.
Yeah, that line was actually 9.5, and if you guys follow and if you guys see that board, now it's 9.5 over a quarter, 9.5 over 20. So that steam is going definitely over. That might catch your eye. And also, just like we said, the Texas and Oakland game that opened at 9. Of course, now it's 9.5 over, 9.5 over 25. Best prices.
Some low-hanging fruit picks, guys.
All right, so I will give. I'm not exactly sure. Well, let me see. What is my low-hanging fruit of the day? I'll give my picks, because there's a lot of picks that. All right, you know what? All right, I'll tell you what. The official low-hanging fruit of the day, because every piece of low-hanging fruit of the day, by definition, is something that you don't have to put a lot of thought into.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's like if you have to put a low hanging fruit, it's just hanging there. Tony, I don't know if you have any trees at your house with fruit on them, but I do. And in New York, I did not have that. And when I came here, I really understood the value of low hanging fruit.
Everywhere, right?
You just take it.
You just walk up to the tree, you pull it off. 0 effort, and you got your fruit. So by definition, low-hanging fruit, if you're thinking about it for more than a couple of seconds, it is not low-hanging fruit. My official low-hanging fruit of the day, and this is just my opinion,
okay,
but my official low-hanging fruit of the day is LA Dodgers, team total over, and I will make that my pick. I'm going to use a Pinnacle line right now, over 5 -159, pretty decent juice there, but over 5 -159 at Pinnacle, LA Dodgers. That's my official low-hanging fruit of the day.
I like it.
It's entirely possible that Chatwood had a good start against Arizona at Coors in his last start. It's entirely possible that somewhere out of nowhere he'll throw 7 innings and give up 2 runs and it'll sneak over. But I will give that one as an official pick. LA Dodgers over
They
5
combined
minus
for like
159.
over 15 last night.
Yeah, last night was a huge. And Colorado, Coors is. I feel like I have a pretty good handle on Coors totals right now, which means that I acknowledge and internalize that they're very unpredictable. If I ever make a pick on in any other state, in any other game, if I make a pick on a total and my result is way off, then I'm concerned. But if I make a pick on a total at Coors Field and the result is way off from my pick, I'm not that concerned. I'm okay with it because there's a lot of unexpected results and volatility, and of course, a lot of it has to do with humidity and or lack thereof, and the air density, and of course, the humidor, which they still use at Coors and a bunch of other places. All right, so I'm going to get to the comments in a second. Don't worry, guys. A lot of comments. I'm going to get comments in a second. First, I want to. We're getting used to having Tony here, Lines guy, who's going to tell us, who's going to recommend us what to bet and talk to us about Steam plays. Tell us what Steam plays is, just very quickly for anyone who doesn't know what you mean by Steam.
Okay, guys, the Steam, it's that play that everybody's looking at and want to bet it and set up the line. So, for example, the best example I can give you is that Texas game over. So the line, just like I told you, was over 9. Well, there was 9 flat, and now it's moving to 9.5 over, 9.5 over 25. So that means if you got that number at 9, was great value. Of course, if you bet it right now, it's minus 25 cents. So
essentially,
that
the
juice
books
went
have
up.
taken so much money on one side or the other that it's moved the line.
It's moving the line. Of course, they're setting up the line the way they want it. Of course, if you follow, you're not gonna get the same number that they got, but you gotta lay a little bit juice.
Right. So basically,
try it. If you want to bet that game over, the Texas game over, what I'm seeing out there is the best juice out there is Pinnacle. They have 9.5 over 15, so you're laying 5 cents more than should have when the big guys bet it.
So basically, what you're going to tell us what we should have bet before when the lines were. Okay, I got it.
If you want to follow,
all right,
you want to follow that trend. Most of the Steams
right.
come up. I can tell you yesterday.
All right.
Yesterday the Steams were. Let me get it over here.
Well, we don't care about yesterday. We don't give a shit about yesterday. Those games are
yesterday's done.
Yes,
so yeah,
yesterday's done. But Tony is a great guy to tell you what you should have bet before the line moved. All right. So I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you what I have bet and what my official picks are. Obviously, my first pick, LA Dodgers team total over. Very, very, very tricky to take totals in Colorado because as shitty as Chatwood is long-term at Coors and as awesome as the Dodgers offense is, if we come back tomorrow and it turns out Chatwood threw 7 innings and gave up 2 runs, I'm not going to be surprised. But that is my official low-hanging fruit. All right.
What do you guys think about Harvey's return today? We had a few people talking about that.
Yeah, tough one. Tough one. That is a very tough one. In general, I'm down on Harvey long-term, not because of the drama. He was also having arm issues. He was also having control issues. So before the whole Cinco de Mayo crap, whatever the hell that was, he was already having issues. So I am definitely looking to fade him. On the other side, of course, you got Cars.
I can tell you he's on my fantasy roster, and I'm getting ready to drop his ass because he has done he had 3-point start and then a .33 start. Guy is he seems to have lost his mojo.
Yeah. So the only issue here is that obviously, first of all, Braun's out. Second of all, Milwaukee crushes lefties, less good against righties. And third of all, Garza on the other side, coming off a good start, but in general, he is a guy who is, you're not too jazzed to bet on. So that game, as of right now, it is going to be a pass for me. I would vaguely be leaning over, but unfortunately, I'm going to need more information. So I can't give that one as a pick right now. But I'm definitely I'm definitely looking to fade Harvey going forward before he either gets suspended, thrown in jail, or goes on the disabled list. One of those things is going to happen in the next few months.
It's scary for me. I think that'll be a total pass just because of the fact that he's so unpredictable right now, but he has the stuff to at any given moment come out and just shut you down.
Well, no, it's not. It wouldn't be a total pass. As I said, the only reason it's a total pass for me is because A, you got Garza starting on the other side. B, Braun is out, and C, Milwaukee is not one of these teams that crushes righties. But I'm still leaning over. I'm still leaning Milwaukee. I'm still leaning Milwaukee team total over. All right, let me get to my picks now. I want to make sure I don't hemorrhage units. So I have to make sure that the picks that I give are picks that I want to go to war with. Because Tony, what I tell people is when you make a pick, what you really have anytime you make a bet, you have to say, all right, if this one loses, am I going to be happy to eat that loss, or am I going to be saying to myself, what the hell happened there? So let me think. My leans are obviously Washington -1. I'm also leaning Houston Yankees over and the Yankees. I'm leaning Seattle Toronto over. I'm leaning Oakland Texas first 5 innings over. I guess I'm going to pass on the full game for now. I'm leaning let's see, Arizona -1 for sure, and I'm leaning Detroit Angels first 5 innings over. All right, I will throw on with Corbin Arizona -1, and the Arizona money line for that one is -136 at the Greek, and the run line part for Arizona is going to be I'll give myself a +145 at Pinnacle and the Greek. So very slight plus money there. Arizona -1 once again, and that is obviously it helps that Glasnow is having so many issues, but that's mostly just a fade of Pittsburgh. They're just not, the lineup just isn't there. Even if McCutchen has a good game, the lineup just isn't there. So I'm going to take Arizona there -1, and yeah. Thormino, I just looked up at the comments. Thormino, Tom Moore says Arizona should be in first place, at least 5 games lost because of the bullpen and defense. That's true. Arizona has a bullpen that has, obviously, and I said this from the beginning when I looked when I previewed Arizona at the beginning of the year, right? I said, all right, now we might be taking Arizona on a lot of run lines because their closer is Fernando Rodney. You know who Fernando Rodney is? Fernando Rodney. Look, I'm no GM, all right? I'm no friggin', advanced analytics expert, but I know no self-respecting baseball team should have Fernando Rodney as their closer. Sorry, Fernando Rodney. No disrespect. Not even the Padres should have Fernando Rodney.
Not even the Padres.
All right?
Mark Lathrop actually mentioned that last night. He took his play.
Yeah.
And then he didn't consider the fact that Rodney was probable.
Yes.
To come in. And
right.
He's like, oh, Jesus Christ, what did I do?
And I'm not one of these people who like makes a prediction after the fact. I said this at the beginning of the year, which was not some brilliant prediction. Rodney sucks. Everyone who follows baseball a little bit knows that. Why is he Arizona's closer? Hey, send your emails and complaints to the Arizona GM. I don't know. I do know that even though I think he's actually 3 for 3 in save situations, he's just not. He's a very questionable closer. So I am going to take Arizona. Lord help me if I need a save from him, but I'm going to take Arizona -1. Okay, Lord Arizona -1. All right, I've given all my leans. I've given 2 official plays. I'll throw on a bunch of other official plays by the end of this show. But now what we're going to do is we're going to go to some comments. Now, Tony, are you okay with some of these comments?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
This is coming from just like anyone, and anyone who has an internet connection can make any comments. So these can be brutal. Sometimes they're very kind, but these can be brutal. Let's go. All right, let's start with the most recent ones. A lot of people asking about the Dodgers and Porcello. That game's gonna be a pass for me. Cobb is not getting a lot of strikeouts, but he's getting results. He gets a lot of ground balls, which is nice, and the line is high. I would be taking Tampa Bay here at that line. If you gave me a free play on it, I would take Tampa Bay. I'm not going to bet it. I haven't bet it yet, but if you gave me a free play on it, I would take Tampa Bay. I'm definitely not going to give it as a pick or a lean. I would also vaguely be leaning under, which was 8.5 on the overnight, and now I believe it is still just 8.5. So a very tiny lean to the under and a very small lean to Tampa Bay at that line. But it's not a bet for me, and it's not a.
So you're talking about a +55, +50.
Well, yes. Well, now I'm seeing like a 5 Dimes has 61, Bet Online has 157. So yeah, you're talking about a pretty substantial underdog line there. And as we know, Boston been underwhelming, underachieving. Porcello has been getting results, but again, so has Cobb, less so than Porcello. But so it's an interesting game, guys. If you gave me a free play, I'd throw it on Tampa Bay. All right, let's see. Other, okay, a lot of.
How about Minnesota, Cleveland?
Yes, Minnesota, Cleveland. A lot of people. I was just going to get to that because this guy Troy Ackers just asked Cleveland, Minnesota, Cleveland money line against Irvin Santana. Now that is a very tricky game because, as we discussed with Drew Martin, Irvin Santana was way overachieving in an awesome way to start the year. Not that he wasn't legitimately excellent, but he wasn't nearly as he wasn't nearly as phenomenal as he wasn't nearly as phenomenal as his opening starts were, and his last start came crashing down to earth, got hit. Tomlin is the opposite, was getting hit, start in and start out to start the year, and he was pretty mediocre at best, but not as bad as he was in those initial starts. And he had a good start in his last start out. So you have Tomlin, who was awesome in his last start, but terrible before that. Santana came crashing down to earth in his last start. In general, though, I'm vaguely leaning towards Minnesota. I'm disagreeing with Drew Martin, who's down on Minnesota, and I said it. They're actually, I believe now they're the top team in MLB in terms of road ROI. Small sample size, but still legitimately good. So to sum all up, very interesting game. That game's a pass for me. If you gave me a free bet on it at this line, I probably would take Minnesota, although I am expecting major regression from Santana going forward. But at a dog line like that, I would take Minnesota definitely. All right, okay. So let's see. A lot of people saying thanks to me. Mark Demand saying thanks to Pete on Tigers over. Yes, I'm telling you, I'm decent at totals, and Tony, I'm known as Totals Low Shack because my totals picks are way less shitty than my sides picks. And let's see, other questions.
How about the Baltimore? That's my pick today.
A lot of people ask about Tillman.
It's Bundy. Bundy is starting.
Oh, sorry. Bundy,
okay,
yeah.
Right. Okay, so you like Baltimore. What?
Tillman's playing against Baltimore today, right?
No, Bundy against Duffy.
That's a game that got postponed yesterday, playing today.
Yeah, I'm seeing Bundy and Duffy.
Bundy and Duffy, yeah.
I'm seeing Bundy and Duffy as the. All right, let me just get to some questions and comments. Hold on one second. Cardinals, Cubs, Boston run line. Let me see. Hold on. Let me get to questions. Iceman 89 said, "What's your best bet today, Pistol? You're on fire. I'm riding you. No homo." Iceman 89, thank you so much for that awesome comment. That comment just made me feel really good. Definitely no homo, although I absolutely support gay rights, but I'm saying no homo in respect to my saying that you just made me feel really good. Iceman 89. My best bet today, this is tricky because anytime you're giving a total in any way, shape, or form at Coors, it's tricky, right? A bad pitcher can get lit up at Coors. I'm sorry, a good pitcher can get lit up at Coors. A bad pitcher can be unexpectedly. And in fact, if you guys remember, there was that game where Hendricks was going up against Marquez, and one guy said Hendricks is going to get crushed at Coors. And that day, I gave as a lean. I didn't have Ball's official pick, but I gave as a lean the Hendricks-Marquez under 11. Go back to the video, and you can check that. And I gave that one, and that game wound up.
Hendricks is a guy who should be in Double-A right now.
Right. And I gave the under on that one, and it wound up finishing at 3-0. So my point is that I do have a good read on totals at Coors, but I also accept that it's wildly inconsistent. So to answer your question, Iceman 89, what's your best bet for today, Pistol? The low-hanging fruit? LA Dodgers team total over 5 at about -159 at Pinnacle right now.
There you go. You heard it here first.
Mm-hmm. What's your play on Baltimore? You said you had to play on Baltimore.
I like Baltimore.
Okay, tell us why.
Money line, what I've seen is that game open up at 13-11. Now it's moving up. I think there's a great value bet in the game. It's a low juice. And you got to keep in mind, sometimes if you bet sharp, you're not going to lay over 40 cents. It depends on you guys or the low-hanging fruit if you want to take a high favorite. But for me, the play value-wise, it's Baltimore. Okay,
I will say that I disagree with that. I think that KC has been bad in general this year, less bad at home. Baltimore has been great in general. In fact, one of the top teams in baseball, but less awesome on the road, and this is going to be a tricky situation. Duffy is going to come in, and I think that Baltimore is a little bit worse against lefties. Duffy might give you a good start. Bundy probably will give you a good start as well, but I expect this to be a low-scoring game, and heading into the later innings, I would not want to have Baltimore as a favorite here. I didn't bet it. I'm not going to give it as a pick, but if you gave me a free bet on this one, I would take KC as a small home dog, but certainly I don't think that Baltimore as a small road favorite is a terrible bet. I would just disagree with it. All right, I'm going to finalize my picks, and we're going to get to more comments. Let's see. Listen, I know, but okay. All right, I'm being told to wrap it up, but I got, let me see. Comments. I can't believe the Pirates are 7 games under 500, but have a winning record for when Glasnow starts. Doesn't make sense. That's from, yes, I am on Arizona. That's -1 is one of the picks that I have already given today. Let's see. Other comments. People laughing at my jokes. Let's see.
You're a funny guy, Pete.
Yes. Someone asked about Damian Maya looking bad in a weigh-in today. UFC has a lot of great value. I gave an official pick on that one. I took the over. I took that the fight goes the distance, 3 rounds, +120 in the Damian Maya fight. That was one of my official picks. And yeah, I think that Damian Maya might have a harder time than normal subbing, his opponent. And I think that more likely than not, that one goes distance. Dan Kellerman Derek says 7-1 yesterday. Dan Kellerman Derek, that is an awesome result. Unless they were all minus 800 favorites, in which case it's not that impressive. But if you went 7-1 with normal Jim, because a lot of people do that, you know, a lot of people say, hey, I went 7-1. They don't tell you that was all minus 1,000 favorites, which is not that impressive. But all right, so yes, all right. Cambridge G saying Pistol is great in MLB. Keep it up. Thank you so much, Cambridge G. That really made me feel good. No homo. Eddie Ward saying Loshag, you are the man. I hit a 5-team parlay last night. Eddie Ward, thank you a lot. That made me feel good once again. No homo. And here you go. Here you go. You ready?
Yeah,
Tony. Lei Shen, a regular commenter, says my lock of the day is Baltimore.
we're in the same pick.
We had a couple guys here on Periscope too that said, "Hey, the low-hanging fruit today should be Baltimore."
Okay, so there you go. Again, I didn't bet KC, but if you gave me,
there can be two pieces of low-hanging fruit. Let's, you know,
not oppositely, not in the same.
Well, when you get the Dodgers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But not in the same. Right. Yes. Yeah. Of course. Of course. So one day there was I gave two. Look, because I made a joke about it because all the low-hanging fruit guys tend to pitch on the same day. Bartolo Colon, Mike Pelfrey, Jared Weaver. So yeah. Oh, absolutely. There can be low-hanging fruit. All right. So that is about it for the. All right. Now let me just decide what I want to take on the. Okay. So. Here we go. So, all right, I'm gonna take. Let's see. Make America Great Again. Sorry to get here late, but do I like Mets over? Again, I have to wait for more information on that game. But if you gave me a free bet right now, yes, I would take the over in that one with Harvey. All right. So let me just give my official picks here. All right. What the hell? Fuck it.
Go.
Fuck it. I'm gonna give most of my leans as picks. My lean was one lean was the over in the Yankees and Houston. McCullers had historically he's been bad on the road. His last road start was good. He's making some changes that made him effective, but this is a tough assignment. And on the other side, Montgomery, decent, but probably will give up some runs or so. So let me just check the first 5 innings to see if a 4 is available, and I will take that one. And no, it is not. All right. So I'm going to take the over in Houston and the Yankees, and that's going to be over 8 minus 110. I'm also going to take Washington -1 over Philadelphia officially. I'm also going to take over 8.5 in Seattle, Toronto. Over 8.5 Seattle, Toronto minus 120. And Oakland and Texas. Wow, that is a tough one. Just because I bet
over.
Yes, well, I took the opener at 9. Now it's 9.5. And you know what I will do? I will take the first 5 innings over in Oakland and Texas, and I am seeing 5.5. Oh God, 5.5 plus 105. Jesus fucking Christ!
Yeah,
all right, you know what I will do? I'll just screw it. I'll just take the full game over. 9.5 minus 110. 9.5 minus 110. I will take that one. I'm adding that one. Then moving on down the line, and I already gave the Dodgers. Arizona -1, and then Detroit Angels is an important one. Let me just make my final decision on this one. Both Zimmerman and Shoemaker have been shaky, and I will take the first 5 innings over in the Angels and Detroit, and that will be 4.5 minus 104. So those are all of my picks for today's card. Again, to wrap up, Detroit, LA Angels, first 5 innings over. Arizona -1. LA Dodgers, team total over. That's the low-hanging fruit of the day for me, in my personal opinion. I'm taking Oakland, Texas over, despite the extra half run that I'm not happy about, but I am taking that one over 9.5. I am taking Seattle, Toronto over 8.5, Washington -1, and Houston and the Yankees over 8, and also a lean. That's not going to be a pick, but it is going to be a lean, is the Yankees as a small home dog against Houston. That's it.
And where can they find the odds?
SBR odds
page.
SBRodds.com. Oh, here you go. Lei Shen saying Oakland under 9.5 for surely. You might be right, Lei Shen. You might be right, Lei Shen. And I'll tell you right now, I'm not happy that I have to take 9.5 here, but I just threw it on for the hell of it. Daniel Weiss was saying Nationals run down. Yes, Daniel, I gave -1 on the Nationals play. All right. There you go. That's it. That's it for the show. Thanks, guys, for tuning in, and we'll be back Monday, win, lose, or draw. Thanks for tuning in.